right, good morning and welcome to the 2024 Players Championship. If you haven't noticed, we're celebrating our 50th playing this year. We're excited to kick off our press conference schedule with PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan. Just a reminder, I know you guys all know this, but when we open up for questions, please wait for a mic to be brought to you by one of our volunteers. And with that, we'd love to start, Jay, with a welcome from you and a couple opening remarks before we open up the press conference from our media friends to ask some questions. Thank you, Jay.
Is Steve here?
Is DeMeglio here?
Yeah. Well, good morning and welcome to the Players Championship. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the event's debut, won by Jack Nicklaus at Atlanta Country Club in 1974. A three-time winner of the Players, Jack is on hand this week to help us commemorate the occasion and celebrate his important role in the history of the Players Championship. How this event has grown in size, scope, and impact over the past 5 decades is something we're extremely proud of. And we continue to focus on delivering the best championship to our players, fans, and partners. For example, this year marks the largest build-out in Players history. For those enjoying the Players at home, the 22 hours presented on NBC, Golf Channel, and Peacock will have limited commercial interruptions. And PGA Tour Live on ESPN Plus will deliver more than 150 hours of live coverage. Among our 43 international media partners who will provide coverage in 200-plus countries and territories and 29 languages this week, we have a record 17 who are producing their live telecast here at TPC Sawgrass. Now I'd like to take a moment to recognize Executive Director Lee Smith, Director of Golf Course Maintenance Operations, Jeff Plotz, and Gary Young, Stephen Cox, and Jason Larson from our Rules Committee for their year-long dedication to the Players Championship. The stadium course is in pristine condition, and as always, will be one of the stars of the show this week. There is no doubt we will crown a most deserving champion on Sunday, one who faces not only the challenge of the stadium course, but a field whose hallmark is its strength and depth. Finally, I'd like to thank our proud partners, Comcast Business, Optum, and Morgan Stanley. With their support of our flagship event, the Players has impacted more than 300 nonprofit organizations across Northeast Florida over the years. Our sponsors are such an integral part of the PGA Tour, and their commitment to this organization goes beyond dollars and cents. They are true partners. As we approach $4 billion in charitable giving as an organization, their support and that of our tournaments makes us immensely proud of the positive impact the Players in all of our events make each and every week. The PGA Tour has undergone a tremendous amount of change over the last few years, with progress accelerating significantly in the last 6 months. We've listened closely to our fans and players to create a new schedule and competitive structure that is more compelling, all while maintaining what makes the PGA Tour so very special, a true competitive meritocracy. The work on these changes dates back to 2017 and includes the move of the Players to March, the PGA Championship to May, which subsequently allowed us to contest the 3 FedEx Cup playoff events in August prior to the start of the NFL and college football seasons. Early returns for 2024 show that field strength, player participation, and access for full field and signature events are strong in delivering on our expectations based on the modeled projections. Year-to-date data includes the following: We've had 49 unique players outside the top 50 who have competed in signature events with help of the Aon Swing 5 and Aon Next 10. We are currently tracking at a 60% retention rate among the top 50. And using data comparing participation from the top 50 and top 125 in the FedEx Cup standings in 2023, or versus 2023, the strength of field at full field events has improved by nearly 30%. Better yet, the reimagined schedule is delivering the essence of the PGA Tour's ethos, pure competition, which shows just how hard winning is. 3 rookies who took distinctly different paths to the PGA Tour have already entered the winner's circle in 2024. Nick Dunlap, the first amateur to win on the PGA Tour since 1992. Matthew Pavon, a new arrival via the DP World Tour Top 10, who sits 3rd in the FedEx Cup standings. And Korn Ferry Tour graduate Jake Knapp. We've also witnessed the game's elite excelling on the biggest stages. Hideki Matsuyama's Sunday 62 at the Genesis Invitational to become the most accomplished Asian-born player in PGA Tour history. Wyndham Clark winning his second signature event at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am on the strength of a course record 60 at Pebble Beach. And last week, world number 1 Scottie Scheffler pulled away from a stacked leaderboard with a masterclass performance at the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard to take over the lead in the FedEx Cup standings. While it's still early in the season, there are also a number of stars and fan favorites who haven't hoisted a trophy yet in 2024. They know it, and in talking to them, they're looking to put an end to that narrative as early as this week. The performance of our athletes, the strength of our business model, and the fact that golf is booming and becoming more mainstream have allowed for the recent launch of PGA Tour Enterprises, which I believe will fundamentally transform the organization and the game of golf for the better. Historically, our structure has limited our ability to make transformative investments into the sport. With PGA Tour Enterprises, with our 13-member board of directors now in place, and the partnership with Strategic Sports Group, we've changed that dynamic and unleashed our potential for future growth. And with our player equity program, which is a first in professional sports, our interests and those of our players will be more deeply aligned. Our business thrives when together we're all laser-focused on delivering for our fans. If we fail on that front, we fail on every front. 3 weeks ago, we had our first policy board meeting since SSG became an investor. The substance of that meeting focused primarily on how we can place our current and future fans at the center of our decision-making. We've done extensive research with our fans, and what they're telling us today is simple. They love golf, and they're loyal to the PGA Tour. They're tired about hearing about conflict, money, and who is getting what. They want to watch the world's best golfers compete in tournaments with history, meaning, and legacies on the line, at venues they recognize and love. They also want to know how we're planning to make the sport more entertaining and easier for them to watch and follow. Our fans are also telling us what an even more compelling product could look like. On our broadcast platforms, it's more golf shots featuring more players, more data and analytics, and more insight through innovations like mic'd-up segments. On our digital platforms, it's technology that's fast, simple, and intuitive, where fans can easily locate their favorite players' performance, better engage in gaming opportunities, and enjoy content that resonates. At our tournament sites, it's the evolution of the fan journey, from ticketing to parketing to hospitality to entertainment to 5G. With expertise from SSG and in partnership with our policy board, player directors, and a membership more aligned with our growth than ever before, we are actively assessing a number of investment options that focus on these fan priorities. You can see one of our major investments taking shape right here in Ponte Vedra, with the world-class content studio nearing completion. When PGA Tour Studios launches next year, it will help us bring live golf and other live content to our fans in a more dynamic way, bringing them closer to our players and closer to our sport. I want to stay focused on where we are and what we are achieving as an organization. But I do know everyone is curious about the status of our negotiations with the PIF. As I've said on a number of occasions, you can't negotiate a deal like this in public, so I will be brief. I recently met with the governor of the PIF, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, and our negotiations are accelerating as we spend time together. While we have several key issues that we still need to work through, we have a shared vision to quiet the noise and unlock golf's worldwide potential. It's going to take time, but I reiterate what I said at the Tour Championship in August. I see a positive outcome for the PGA Tour and the sport as a whole. Most importantly, I see a positive outcome for our great fans. Despite the distractions over the last 2 years, fans, sponsors, and communities continue to value and engage with the PGA Tour, and I am more confident than ever in the fundamental strength of our organization. We offer a schedule and a competitive structure that showcases the world's best players. Sponsors partner with us in our events to help tell their stories to an audience of loyal fans around the globe and help create can't-miss experiences for their clients. Local organizations bring these events to life with the backing of their community and its people. And the proceeds from the PGA Tour events are directed right back into those communities in the forms of hundreds of millions of dollars of annual charitable giving. Whether it's Ponte Vedra Beach or Fort Worth, Charlotte or Memphis, or one of the many other cities we've returned to each year for decades, that formula is what has made us a bedrock institution in communities across the country. We remain committed to this mission-driven formula, and as I close, I want to speak directly to our fans, our most important constituent, and ones that maybe hasn't felt their voices heard lately. All of this talk about investment and growth, I want you to know that we're focusing that energy on bringing forth the most competitive and entertaining tour possible for you. It's my commitment, and it's our players' commitment. This is a transformational time for the sport we all love, and we're excited to take the lead. Thank you, and I'm happy to take your questions.